After turning in late the night before, we awoke ready to eat breakfast. The kids and I explored some of the nearby mountain at the campground before getting everything packed up again as we continue our journey west. Thankfully, we did not see any bears or larger wildlife, although we did see signs that they had been there.
Guys, we've only hiked like 3 steps. Yeah, come right now.
Well, it is back on the road for one last day of long travel before we get to Yellowstone.
We found that there are so many things to do in South Dakota, especially the Black Hills. We did not even scratch the surface while we were there, and will definitely need to head back someday to explore more. For instance, we drove through Deadwood on our way out of South Dakota, which is a cute little town nestled in the mountains. Now we're headed into Wyoming and Devils Tower, where we'll stop for a lunch break and hike before continuing on our long journey for the day. We get our first view of Devils Tower off in the distance. From all the photos we had seen of this place, we really expected it to be more flat, but there were plenty of rolling hills. Wow, what an impressive structure. We had a picnic lunch in the parking lot and then decided to hike the Tower Trail, which is the most popular hike in the park. The trail is paved and the entire loop ends up being about 1.5 miles. It starts with a short, steep section that leads you to a junction that will take you either way to walk around the base of the tower. The trail goes through a beautiful and fragrant ponderosa pine forest and a boulder field. Interpretive signs explain some of the geology and ecology of Devils Tower National Monument, and thankfully there are benches along the path where you can just stop to enjoy the magnificent views of the tower. As you walk the tower trail, you will notice cloths or small bundles attached to the trees. These are Native American prayer cloths and represent the spiritual connection many tribes have with the tower. Back in the truck and wrapping up day 4 of our trip out west. So far, we've had the chance to enjoy the following: the Jolly Green Giant in Blue Earth, Minnesota, Palisades State Park on the eastern side of South Dakota near Sioux Falls, the Corn Palace in Mitchell, South Dakota, the Badlands, Wall Drug, Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills, and today was Devils Tower. If you've missed any of our previous videos, please check them out.
Now we are going to make the long trek towards Cody, Wyoming, with a final destination of Buffalo Bill State Park, which will put us just outside of Yellowstone National Park, with the hopes of entering the park the next morning. We are almost there. But first, we have to travel through the Bighorns, as the sun was setting in the west, which gave us some beautiful views. There are a couple different ways to get across the Bighorns, and we decided to take the one that was heavily advertised with billboards along the freeway as being the easier and shorter route. Overall, it was manageable with our half-ton pickup and a travel trailer that weighs right around 5,000 pounds, fully loaded. And thankfully, we were able to get to the other side before the sun completely set, so we could see the beautiful scenery. I kept an eye on the transmission and took it slow as we headed up the pass. and of course tried to do my best to keep everything under control as we came down the other side of the range without destroying the brakes. Last gas stop before we set up camp for the night. It was almost 11 p.m. by the time we reached the campground at Buffalo Bill State Park.
I hope you enjoyed watching our video as our family travels out west to Yellowstone. Stay updated as we post new videos each week, and as always, like and subscribe to Big House in the Little Woods.